Hi, it's Lucy. I just want to show you again some of my new stamps. These here are my polymer feather stamps called Feathers of Love. And I just wanted to show you how nicely they emboss. So this is one of the ones I've got here. It's a little stained because I've been using a lot for demoing. Stains are not a problem on a polymer stamp so long as the stamp is actually clean. So make sure you clean it after use, and that can just be with water depending on the ink that you're using. But you can see I've just attached it to the acrylic block. You can see here. The beauty about this is that when we position it, we can actually see where the stamp is going to go. I'm using a VersaFine ink here, which is this one here. It's an archival instant dry pigment ink, but it works really well with embossing, and I'm using a gold embossing powder. So when you're inking up your stamp, the most important thing is that you lightly ink up your stamp. No squeezing, because you only want ink to be on the upper level of this stamp. So if you squeeze, you're going to get ink down these sides, and we don't want to do that. Okay. If you think you do have ink on the sides anywhere, make sure you wipe it off. It doesn't matter how deep a stamp is if it's inked up properly. Okay, so I'm going to look at where I want to have it, and I'm going to stamp it down. Now you need to put even pressure over the top of the stamp, making sure, because there's not anything here, make sure that you're not pressing there, okay? So just pressing evenly where the stamp is. Okay, so we've got our stamped design now. Quickly as possible, depending on the weather, get your gold powder on. Okay, I keep a piece of paper, and you can see there the gold powder has stuck onto only where the stamp is, and it's a really good image. Before I do anything, I'll put away the gold powder. If I'm doing mainly card making, I have little boxes like this to put my powder in. So they're really great because you can just dip the whole card in, and it's a good way to do it. Okay, now I'm just going to use a heat gun to heat the stamp. Okay. See how beautiful that gold really stands out. What I really want to point out to you is not to overheat the area. If you overheat your gold, you'll actually force it into the paper. So it's important not to overheat, but look how lovely that looks. And with a stamp like that, again, inking it up. Now, a lot of people say to use a soft surface underneath. I'm just using the wooden bench here, and it's working fine. So I'm just re-inking it. And the beautiful part about this is I can now place and go, okay, I'd like another feather here. Again, pressing it down. Nice image. Powder. Okay, you might see there's a few extra grains of powder here. Just make sure you knock them off. You can use a fine brush. But fingerprints will make embossing stick, so it's good. It's a really good idea to have a fine brush to do that. Just heat it. And again, a beautiful feather. So you can see the stamp doesn't have a cushioned back, but it has stamped perfectly onto the card just using a bench. The point to polymer stamps is that they don't actually push in. Because we don't have a lot of padding, you find that your polymer stamps don't actually cushion in. So flat areas on a polymer stamp are less likely to give you an inked mark. So and they will remain a little bit sticky. Some people worry, oh, my polymer stamps are a little bit sticky. That's just important the way you actually put them away. They do need to be dry when you put them away. But the point to it is it's the same on both sides. So if it's not slightly tacky on this side, it's not going to be tacky on that side, so you won't be able to stick it to your block. So it's a good way because they can easily be put in a folder. You can see that the stamps are like this. They can easily be put into a folder for storage. And like I said, the staining doesn't matter. Just making sure that you keep them flat. Again, to use them, just put them flat like that onto your clear acrylic block. So you could have a couple of clear acrylic blocks and you wouldn't need to have anything else other than your polymer stamps. Here's some of the feathers coloured in slightly, so that can look really good. This is one of the feather here coloured in as well. So you can see with the embossing and the colouring in, it can be quite dramatic, the effect. I hope you enjoy having a go at embossing, and I'll be showing you lots more other things to do with stamps and how to use them. Thanks very much. My stamps will be available on my Etsy site very soon. Thanks very much.